So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, class number 2 to our session number 3 for today. It is Saturday, the 6th of September 2025. And today we are going to finish with unit number 1 in reading. And today we are going to work on passage number 2. Last time we did reading passage 1. It was about the United States. Today it's going to be about its neighbor, Canada, okay? So this is the rule number 1. Because number 3 we deleted number 2. Okay, we delete number 2. You remember? I don't know if you were attending. It was closed all the time, so we repeated the whole session. That's why. So once again, we are working on file number 1, page 34, my country. Graph 1, it says, my country. To a stranger, the land must seem endless. A herring gull, it is a kind of bird, winging its way from St. John's, Newfoundland to Victoria in the southern tip of Vancouver Island, will travel as far as the distance from London to Baghdad. It is the vastness, vastness is huge, the big. Startle the imagination of all who visit my country. So once again, everybody is fascinated how big Canada it is. So the question is, what is the main idea of the paragraph above here? Canada is strange and surprising. Canada is very, very big. Canada is hard to know. So what do you think is the best main idea? So what do you think, please? Number 1, it is B. Thank you. That's correct. We move paragraph 2. Contrast. So this is the opposite idea. We don't live in snow-covered cabins far from civilization. Most of us inhabit, that means live, in cities that don't seem to differ greatly from those to the south of us. So when we say south, that means the United States. The observant visitor, however, will note some differences. There are no more pronouns. The word pronouns here, it means clearer than it is in the American melting pot. A newcomer in the United States quickly learns to cover up his or her origins and become an American. A newcomer to Canada manages to keep something of the culture and customs of his or her ethnic background, ethnic background, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Africans. So this is what we call ethnic background. Okay, so now let's see the question. What is the main idea of the paragraph above? Canadians appear to others as simple people who inhabit snow-covered cabins in the woods. Two Canadians live in almost exactly the same way as American live, but really there are differences. See, all Canadians seem alike, but they have more variety in their customs and culture than Americans. So what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, the best suggestions here, A, B, or C? It should be A, ladies and gentlemen, is the best one. Okay? The problem will be, exactly the same. No, it is not exactly the same. And here the problem is the word all Canadians. Okay? That's why we chose A. Paragraph 3 as a mountainous, snow-swift land. Certainly it can get very cold in Canada. Few non-Canadians understand that it can also get very hot. The Eastern cities suffer in the humidity of July and August, and people actually die each year from the heat. In Victoria, roses bloom on Christmas Day, so that means it is very, very warm. So the answer now, what is the main idea? It can get very cold in Canada. It can get very hot in Canada. Roses can bloom on Christmas Day. So what is the best idea you can get? The problem, the three of them are correct, but we need one the main idea. So the best one is going to be B. This is, thank you, this is what they want us to understand. Everybody knows Canada is very cold, but the author, the writer, wants us to know that Canada is also a hot country. Where temperature is concerned, we are a country of extremes. We remember this word from passage 1. Extremes, as we said, very different, hot, cold. And yet the people, we tend to work moderation in the middle. And even conservatism, al-muhafara, conservatism. Non-Canadians think we are the same as our American neighbors, but we are not really like the Americans. Our social attitudes, opinions, ideas, our environment, and our history make us a different kind of North American. So what is the main idea once again? Canadians are like American, but Canadians are really more conservative and moderate. Canada is a country of extremes, both in temperature and in the character its people. The Canadian temperament is like the American one because of social attitudes, environment, and history. So what do you think is the correct answer here? So it is A. Thank you. That's correct. Notice B, in the character of its people, no. The character is moderate. C1, it is not the same like North American. We are different, plus different kind of North Americans. So that's why A is the correct answer. Then once again, A is correct. Any problems so far? Here's Zena reading file number one. Now we move paragraph. Here is going to how they are different from the American. The first, there is the matter of our history. It has been called dull, like boring, because it is not very bloody. We are, after all, the only people in all Americas who didn't separate violently from Europe. We have had 3 or 4 small uprisings, like problems, but no revolution or civil war. So, what is the main idea? Canadian history is dull. Canadian history is bloody. Canadian history is not violent. So the correct answer is C. That's correct. Any problem with paragraph 5, please? Paragraph 8. We were slow to give up this order. Our lawmen are appointed from above, not elected from below. The idea of choosing town marshals and country sheriffs by vote to keep the peace with guns never fitted in the Canadian scheme of things. Instead, we invented the Northwest Mounted Police, the Canadian symbol of the mountain. They are neat and clean in his scarlet coat, what you see in the picture. Contrasts with the American symbol of the lawman in his open shirt and gun belt. The two differing social attitudes persist to this day. The word persists. Still, United States, the settlers, the people who live in America, moved across the continent before law. Hence, the Wild West. In Canada, the law came first, settlement followed. So this is F. But once again, as we said, the problem of reading sometimes a lot of new vocabulary, but you need to get ready, be able to guess. And as I said, told you the first class, it is a good advice if you can do memorize every day about 10 vocabulary, 10 new words. That will help you to improve your English tremendously. We move on. Outward display of your anger or your happiness is not part of the Canadian style. We are, after all, a northern people. The Americans are far more outgoing, They love to travel, they love to meet people than we are. The Canadians, they don't like it. One reason for this, I think, is the very real presence of nature in our lives. Most of us live within a few hours drive of the wilderness, nature. No Canadian city is far removed from those mysterious and silent places that can have such an effect on the human soul. So as you notice, nature is very important for Canadians. That makes them very peaceful. Okay? There is other aspects of my country, aspect like another part. that makes it unique. Unique, it means very special, different in the Americas, and that is our bilingual. Bilingual, that means speaking two languages, and multicultural, so many nations. Canada has a language, English and French, and its largest province, a majority of the inhabitants were only, or exclusively, it means only. It gives us a picturesque quality, of course, and that certainly helps tourism. Visitors are attracted to the foreignness of Quebec City with its twisting streets and its French-style cooking. But there is also disturbing regional tension, like the problems. Quebec has become a nation within a nation, and the separatist movement, they want to be alone, separate, is powerful there. So it is positive and negative at the same time. Do you have any problem? Ladies and gentlemen? Oh, keep on. Guys are not anything against. We watch American television programs. We tend to prefer American-made cars over the European and Asian products. We welcome hundreds of thousands of American tourists to our country every year and don't complain much when they tell us that we are exactly the same as they are. But the visitor may be burdened for thinking so when he or she first crosses the border. The buildings in our cities are designed in the international styles. The brand names in the supermarkets are all familiar. It is only after several days that the difference, but then, that the newcomer begins to sense a difference. He cannot put his finger on the difference. But then neither can many of my fellow Canadians. The only thing we are really sure of is that we are not Americans. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, the whole reading passage. Cannot people think of it? And the writer is trying to give us the correct ideas here. Now, we have exercise number 3, as you see, and we need to put for every sentence true or what, false. So number 1, most Canadians live in snow-covered cabins far from civilization. What do you think? So this is false. Is the opposite. Number 2, in Canada, newcomers keep more of their original country's custom than do newcomers in the United States. So sentence number 2 is true. That's correct. But if we can hold country even in the summer time. So what do you think number 3? Number 3 is false. That's correct, because it is cold in winter, but no, in summer it is very hot. Number 4 is and violent than the history of the United States. So number 4 is also false. It is the opposite. 5. Generally speaking, Canadians are more conservative than Americans. That's correct. Number 6, the Wild West, with its guns and sheriffs with open shirts, was an important part of Americans and Canadian history. So number 6 is false. It is part of American, but not Canadian. So this is the mistake here. 7, Canadians express their emotions more openly than Americans do. So number 7. This is false. It is the opposite, the American. Number 8, the United States has only one official language, but Canada has 2. So number 8 is true. Thank you. Number 9, in general, Canadians are anti-Americans and Americans are anti-Canadian. So number 9 is false. Remember, anti means against. They are not. Finally, Canadian building, food, business look very different from those in the United States. So also number 10, false. They look very what? Similar, not different. So this is reading passage number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have any problem with this? If no problem, then we are done. Okay. And then we start with the grammar. Okay. Thank you and have a very nice evening. Bye bye.